Yeah, we're joined by Senator Bukola Saraki. He's a doctor as well. He's the Chairman Senate Committee on Environment and Ecology. Morning, and thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, in fact, it was the lead story yesterday night in the Senate about that letter, which has lingered for some time now on the floor of the Senate. And, you know, you had different comments. You have from the Senate spokesman, you have from Senator Tainang, you have from members of the APC, and they're all talking about one thing: why that letter should be read on the floor. But it's not been read. What's your perspective on all of this? I mean, if the letter is not read at the end of the day, of what importance is it?
Well, it's a good question, but like any institution, there are practices and procedures that you are guided by, and also there are precedents that have been set in the past. It's a very good question, as you say, that if the Senate President reads or doesn't read it, how does that make any more difference to the issue at hand? But the practice has always been in the past that, you know, when senators or members of the House, you know, change their party for their own reason, that they do come to the floor and they indicate to the members that this is the right to the leadership and say, you know, it is my wish to, you know, move to this party in line with Section 68 of the Constitution, and the leadership reads it and it goes into the records of the Senate that, you know, you have defected to another party. So it's really just going by the laid down procedures that have been working very well in the past, which unfortunately now seems not to be working as it used to.
As of yet. but the thing is, I mean, they also cited the same section, which is cited, as amended. And as a matter of fact, Senator Tainang was particular about, I think it was G. He says, 68G, that 68.1 first says, a member of Senate or the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House of which he is a member if, and then G says, being a person whose election to the House was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected. The implication of this is, they say, that if you all eventually defect, you lose your seats.
No, that's not true. I mean, if you read, there's a section, I think it's section 1A, section 68.1, and then another subsection G or 8, that clearly indicates that if there is a division within the party, then, you know, you don't... Look, this is nothing new. I mean, this is why, you know, every time we do this kind of thing in our country, we just make a mockery of it. It's not new. It's not the first time. There are over, I think, between the House and the Senate, probably over 20 cases since the 1999, where people have defected, quoting the same section. There's not been any hullabaloo about it. There's been no noise. It's gone smoothly. People have left the opposition party into PDP, you know. And the question is that now that it's the other way around, you know, people are quoting and trying to hold on to what doesn't exist. I mean, and these are facts of law. I mean, it's not. We have. Young, you know, is a colleague of great respect to him. Those are his own views. I have my own views, and until anything else that the rule, the court of law, any other place says otherwise, you know, we must.
He says there's a precedence, actually.
That's a
follow-up.
Go ahead.
And he says in 2012, I think he was a member of the House of Reps at the time, and he said at that time, Mr. Ifede Abegunde, who was representing Akure North and Akure South constituency, defected from Labour Party. He eventually lost his seat because he was not able to prove that there was a defection in his division in his party.
He was not able to prove to who?
To the courts.
Exactly. We're not there yet. Do you see the point as of today? The issue is that there is no court that has said that there is no ruling. There's a case in court, right, presently, but as of now, there is no court that has said that. So what I'm saying, as of today, there is no law that stops any of the senators, a member of the House of Rep, to say that they've left their party. That is his own interpretation. And there are cases, and also that is one case. But out of the other 20 cases where they have defected, there hasn't been anything like this.
Okay, let me the report so that she'll just take it from there.
Okay.
No, that's the report actually, which I spoke about, but let's listen to it and she'll take it from there.
Okay.
It's yet another closed-door session in the Senate, a second of such meeting in 48 hours. We may not know the exact details of what lawmakers discussed behind this door, but it's safe to say that the issue of defection of some senators from the PDP to the APC would have been given some attention. The body language of the opposition lawmakers after the closed-door meeting suggests that this was the case. For days now, the attention of Nigerians had been on the Senate to see if a letter stating the defection of lawmakers from the PDP to the APC would be read on the floor, as was done in the House of Representatives. The days after the letter of defection was forwarded to the Senate President, it's yet to be read on the floor of the Senate. At the plenary last week, this infuriated the defecting lawmakers.
The distinguished Senate President told this chamber that he is aware of the letter.
The Senate spokesman explained why the Senate President was reluctant to read the letter at Wednesday's plenary.
It was also resolved that the Senate President in particular, would have to seek further legal advice because of the serious legal issues that was thrown up during the discussion.
He further explained that the legal recourse which the defecting lawmakers sought has further tied the hands of the Senate President.
The senators who are defecting had first gone to court against the presiding officer. And of course, if you go to court, that means that we have to suspend what we're doing pending the resolution of the matter in court.
But an opposition lawmaker disagrees. Senator Ojodu told Channel Television that whether the Senate President reads a letter or not is inconsequential at this point.
They should not lose sleep over it. You know, the world has already known, and that's what matters. They are already participating fully in our activities in our party.
Another hot button in this defection saga is the fear that lawmakers would lose their seats should they leave the party for another.
If any person defects or purports to defect from one political party to the other, for instance from APC to PDP or PDP to APC, the seat becomes vacant. You don't just lose the seat. The seat becomes vacant. You walk outside and leave the seat of PDP where the seat of PDP is.
If the Senate President wakes up today and say so person's seat is being declared vacant because of defection, then we will ask him that what happens when Zamfara senators, for instance, the place that I come from, defected in the 6th Assembly from ANPP to PDP, under your same watch, and his seat was not declared vacant.
There are reports that the Senate President has been meeting with the defecting lawmakers to avert a possible division in the Senate along party lines. How much these meetings would accomplish remains to be seen. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The eyes of it.
Welcome. Well, interesting and strong views too from the members of the from senators about that defection. But the one that the Senate spokesman spoke about, that if you already went to court about this matter, you have to stay action until those cases are determined. What do you think of that?
No, I mean, look, the court case you're talking about it's the same court case that applies to this House of Rep. It's the same Parliament. I mean, the member of House of Rep, member of Senators are in one court case. There's not the same court case that does not stop the House of Rep members defecting. The same court case has the Speaker and the Senate President as the two defendants, numbered at 2 and 3. It's the same court case. It's funny to say that, we always say that it's a bicameral, it's the same Parliament and the same court case, and it's now being interpreted differently in the House of Rep and being interpreted. There should be some consistency in these issues. I think, as the Senate President said yesterday, I think there's going to be further consultations over this period and advice. And we're back on Tuesday. We hope again to sit down and discuss this and find a way forward. The issue at the end of the day is that most of these decisions are decisions based on your own constituencies. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we represent, and those decisions are decisions of our constituencies. We have moved and we've taken those decisions, and I think that it needs to be respected. All this we're doing is really, we must respect the sanctity of these institutions. My strongest view is that we must be consistent. Every time we do things to suit the situation, it goes back to hunters and biters later. As we've shown over the last 16 years, people have come and gone and defected. It would be strange if one wonder that the legal experts who are advising the Senate President obviously must be totally different from the legal expert advising the Speaker. I mean, it's the same case and the same tool. So, to me, what is important is that there must be some consistency that we instill confidence in the people.